Alright everybody, this is just going to be a quick little video on why is your Audi consuming oil. Now, for starters, if you have a PCV fault, or if your, especially the 3.0T engine is whistling, please see my PCV replacement for the 3.0T video, and that can be one cause of your oil consumption. Another cause is to look for leaks, upper timing chain cover, gaskets, oil filter housing, oil cooler, vacuum pump can seep oil, valve covers, cam chain camshaft girdle, that's like right under your cam chain or your valve cover. Your oil drain plug can be leaking, your oil pan can be leaking, so check those leaks first. Now if you have a misfire, consuming oil, and running rough, I would recommend doing what I'm about to show you, but looking at your valves. However, I do not have any misfires, don't have any codes, and it's running fine. So what I have gotten to now is I am thinking that we have a piston ring or cylinder wall issue. So these are pretty new spark plugs. I would say less than 1,000 miles, and every single one of them is coated in oil. Doesn't look too bad at the tip. Every single one is drenched in oil. Now, if you have oil on your coil packs or ignition coils, like right here, or on top of your spark plugs, that is a telltale sign that your camshaft cover is leaking into the spark plug holes. So that's going to be a little sucky. That's gonna suck. But thankfully we're not there. I have a boroscope, gonna check out the cylinder walls and valves, and then I am going to show you what the dealership will do. They're either going to tell you to do this service, or they're going to tell you you need pistons and to go F yourself. So let's get I got all the spark plugs out. This kind of sucks. I don't have coolant, so I just dealt with it. Just moving it around, take the one bolt out, and you can kind of get enough room. But just be careful with these lines, because these will fucking break and ruin your day. So, as you can see from that test, your car's basically totaled. Since Audi has a fantastic, basically gold-plated cylinder walls, and they think they're Jesus, and any car that has pistons basically consumes oil. Yeah, you can't rehone that. You can't put new cylinder walls in, it's new block. So your car's totaled. But I also don't even think that this Berryman service is even going to do a damn thing. It might even make it worse because, well, I don't know. Quite stumped. Wish I would have done that when I bought the car. But my learning is your benefit. So we are going to do the service anyways because fuck it, car's totaled now, so might as well do it. But what it is called a Berryman B12 service. This is just a highly corrosive additive. You can get it on Amazon. I would highly recommend doing an oil change and replacing your spark plugs as well. So what you do is you just pour about half a bottle into each cylinder. That goes down the cylinder walls, coats the piston rings, and then seeps past the piston rings, and hopefully it breaks up all the junk on the oil. The oil, shoot, I forget what it's called, oil ring. And then you go drive it, and then for like, I don't know, 15 minutes, come back, do an oil change, and replace your spark plugs. And that is supposedly supposed to help break up the carbon on the piston rings and improve your oil consumption. However, with there being signs of cylinder wall damage on, I at least saw it on 2 cylinders, pretty bad. Pretty bad meaning like just a really thick, long streak. I have seen it even worse on some Porsches, some other Audis. But yeah, if you have cylinder wall damage, yeah, that's a fun one. But let me go get the chemicals and show you how to do it. All right, here you go, Berryman B12. This is the exact stuff that the dealership will quote you. This is probably going to be a $1,000 or more service at a dealership. So again, like my previous video, I'm here to save you money and learn from my mistakes. But you can get this on Amazon. I got 4 for like $30. Your oil change is probably going to be $100, and spark plugs maybe $100. Your labor's free, so you just saved yourself about $700. I know it doesn't say piston ring stuff or piston ring deterioration, whatever. I know AutoZone also has a some other chemicals that specify for piston rings. However, this is what I have done in the past. Twist off, and then be careful because this little pull tab will just fucking fling out and you'll spill shit everywhere. Probably would not recommend you getting this on any of your paint. Again, pretty damn corrosive. Also, probably recommend getting a funnel, as it can be a little deep in there. But about half. And then if you get the 4-pack on Amazon, that's perfect amount. I've never really put Berryman B12 in my gas tank, so maybe if you have extra you can put it in there, but I've never done that. I already put a fuel system treatment. Oh shoot, I forget which one I did, but I think maybe Mobile One or into fuel tank, gas tank, treat up to 21 gallons, blah, 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 blah. So, you know what? That is what we're gonna do with the extra. this son bitch right in there. So, like I said, let this sit overnight. It is currently 1 p.m. on Sunday. However, I don't know when I'm going to get back to this. So, in the meantime, while you're waiting, go get stuff for an oil change and go get some spark plugs. You want to put your old spark plugs back in, do your test drive, and then come back, do your oil change, and then replace your spark plugs again, because that will foul out your spark plugs. These might be considered good testing plugs, but I would still highly recommend not getting no auto lights. Get NGKs, because again, that is what the dealership uses. Actually, no, it's Volkswagen Audi Group, but I would highly recommend using the NGKs. Never had a problem with them. So I will see you when we go for a test drive and do the oil change, and hopefully we can get away with not putting so much oil in this thing, because it is pretty bad. Like, I'll top it off, and then I went to Hamilton. Hopefully you'll see that YouTube video as well. Still need to edit that one for Octane Fest. And then on my way there, minimum oil light. Granted, when I'm driving like a complete asshole, it definitely consumes a lot more. But I will get to this later. Yep. We got the goods. Just got done putting the spark plugs back in. Putting the old spark plugs back in. I think I'm just gonna run it and not replace the spark plugs, since they are brand spanking new. Gonna just put the coil packs in, plug in your coolant level sensor, and if you are going to be taking out your spark plugs again and replacing them, like if they are pretty old, I would leave your screws that keep your wiring harness in out, as you will need to take them out again. But I am going to take out the spark plugs again and just use brake clean to clean off the threads, and then see if oil comes back up the threads, and then if my oil light comes back on, to determine if I did anything. So it's been more than 24 hours. I'm sure it's probably not good for that chemical to be sitting in so long. So I'm trying to be proactive about this, and gonna start putting the coil packs in, intake, and go for a little test drive. Okay, just got done with a little test drive. Probably wouldn't suggest leaving it for more than like 24 hours because it wasn't cranking at all. And I don't know if it's because I put it in the fuel injectors too, but I would like just lose all power. So probably not a good idea to keep it in as long as I did. I think it was probably pushing like over 48 hours. So that's not good. Expect plenty of smoke. But yeah, gonna do a oil change and possibly check out the spark plugs, clean the threads out. And then also I did completely snap the ever-living shit out of one of the wiring harnesses for the spark plugs, so that's cool. Okay, just wrapped up the oil change. Made a little mess. It helps when you open up the air bleeder, just FYI. But I said I was going to at least clean the spark plugs. If you're replacing them, just replace them, but if you're not, just put the screws back in and call it a day. Only time will tell if this has worked or not, or if the cylinder wall scoring has gone too far. However, I think it is time for this car to go bye-bye. I have to at least get loan payout for it. So I might end up keeping it through the winter so I don't have to drive that stance front wheel drive bald tire looking car through the winter, because that sucks. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you learned, even if it doesn't have a misfire, even if it doesn't have a low oil light on time of sale, do yourself a favor. Check, if you're buying an Audi in general, take all the spark plugs out and get a borescope, so you know if your engine is toast or not before you spend big money. Thanks again for watching. Hope you're having a better day than I am. Thank you.